I'm standing on the bridge that connects Cape May, the island. I started bike riding down at the beach, and now I'm just over the canal, and here comes another truck. That's scary because when these trucks come by, I feel the whole bridge shaking, going up and down. Anyway, I came from Cape May, that direction. It's a nice day, breezy, about 60 degrees. Perfectly clear sky. And I'm going to ride around a lot of the Cape May Point area. Just 2 miles into it, I rode up here, crossing the bridge, and I'm going to get off this bridge before another truck comes by, because it's truly scary being on a bridge that's shaking up and down. Here's my bike. It's a Cannondale Synapse Carbon 5 with a noodle on there to keep cars from getting a little too comfortably close. So let's continue the ride. Okay, so this is me. I'm at 3.5 miles, and I made it to the bike trail, walking trail, that although it's right next to traffic, there's going to be no traffic on this road. Just an occasional piece of scrap cardboard. I'm protected by a steel rail for the moment. So I'm going to milk this road for 5 or 10 miles before I have to deal with traffic again. So I'm riding on Cold Spring Trail out of Cape May. It looks like there's going to be about 5 miles of this. Not a lot going on. A lot of trees, birds, bumps. It's all good. Let's just keep pedaling. Well, I'm out of the barren tree area, in a more residential area. Still on the trail, but there's something you don't see every day. Maybe you did 80 years ago, but my problem, being in the residential area, I got all these little barriers here. I got to carefully snake through and watch for traffic, and I got to do this over and over and over and over again. It's still better than being on the roadway with all those big metal things whizzing by. I have about half a mile to go on this trail going north. And the reason I'm on this trail is because I want to get into a rather sparse area that rides through what looks like just forest and swamp area. I'm going around to the Delaware Bay side of the point down here in Cape May, New Jersey. So that should be interesting. I can see the colors are starting to change on the trees. It's October 11th. Okay, after a short break, it looks like I'm back on the road here. Going to be making a left and having to deal with traffic. Although, doesn't look like there's an awful lot of it out here. We'll see how this goes. Well, the pavement is a little rough, but this is a very wide street, and there's no traffic here. None whatsoever. Actually, I think I see why now. Dinosaurs. A lot of them. And bunny rabbits. Let's spin around for a closer look. Yeah, that's scary in more ways than one. Somebody, this is their house. They actually live here with the lions and dragons and elephants and bunny rabbits. Okay, back to riding. There is no traffic here whatsoever. I love it. Well, I'm back in the more traffic area and taking a break now. It says I'm at mile 8. Don't know why it says that, because I rode 12 miles. It means something to somebody. Anyway, we got noisy traffic, an empty parking lot, some sort of military truck, and we got a firehouse with their own personal fire hydrant. I wish I would have known about that before I took a nature break earlier. What I'm going to do is zoom out. I'm going to take a little break here to rest my wrists, which get a little sore, a little numb after a while, before I get back on the road. Give my butt a break too. Well, there's a lot of things you could eat. I wouldn't want to recommend anything, but one of my personal favorites is Fig Newtons. They don't melt, they don't freeze. It's just a lot of 200 calories, a lot of sugar. I like them. That was a Coast Guard helicopter. Oh, and speaking of flying things, there's a hawk. Well, I'm about halfway into my ride. Decided to take a stop at Mel's Waffle House. Sounds good, but it is not open. That's fine. I didn't want to eat. Just wanted to take a break. There's a good place to put my bike and a good place to sit down. It's a little chilly, so the sun is not a problem. And by the way, this is my first attempt at using a noodle. It's worked. No car has hit me yet or come that close. I never tried this before. Always wanted to, and it was sagging. And I thought, okay, well, that's what they do. It was blowing back in the wind, and I thought that's just the way it's going to be. But then I found out there's like a stiffening structure inside of flexible plastic that you can position it and hold it stiff. So that's working out really well. And it gives me, 2 or 3 feet of clearance. I'm hoping the car will give me another foot. I think I like it. It's a little tricky getting on and off. I keep kicking it with my feet, but otherwise it's functional. Well, this is fun. I just want you to know I rode from Cape May to Miami Beach. Now I'm going to ride back to Cape May. I have a Garmin live tracker, and as you can see here, I made it to Miami Beach. All the way from Cape May. And now I'm going to have to head back to Cape May. Of course, you realize that's Miami Beach is a place in Cape May. I'm not in Florida. Not by a long, long, long stretch. But really, I'm really in Miami Beach. I got proof. Well, now, I made it to the Cape May County Airport. Of course, I was hoping as I got right under the runway, which I am about now, there'd be a plane taking off or landing. But it looks like there's nothing happening here now. Nobody flying in, nobody flying out. Nothing much happening at all. In the future, I'm going to ride around and go to the front of the airport to see what there is to see there. But that's like several mile loop to get around this place. Well, there's an airplane way, way off in the distance. Not sure I can get him on the camera, but he seems to be at pattern altitude and he seems to be turning onto base, so he might be landing here. But it's a small plane, so he'll probably be landing a couple thousand feet down the runway. Might not even get a good look at it. My only hope is he's doing a touch and go, in which case he'll have to fly right over me. We'll see. Well, now I'm back on the trail, heading back down south a bit to get to the other side of the airport. And look at this, there's my old friend. Still there. Guess nobody bought it yet. So I'll be turning off of this trail in about 1.5 miles so I can get to the front of the airport. There's actually no other really way to go. It's surrounded by nothing, which you would want at an airport. Got to cross a lot of driveways. It's not such a bad trail. Slowing down because I want to show you what's ahead. I passed this on the way up. Mind you, this is on the trail, so it's just foot traffic and bike traffic. There's a bike. This is somebody's backyard. Place to sit. A lot of different art. It's a refreshing change from nothing but trees and bushes. Alright, so a couple tenths of a mile, I'll be back on the roads, fighting the traffic, trying to find my way to the airport. There's a red light I'm waiting at, and some construction going on. Hopefully I can get through. I better not do anything naughty, because there's a police here. So I'll be sure to cross at a green light. Well, I found the airport. A couple of planes there. Let's see if I can get a closer look. Looks like I made it. Planes to the left of me, planes to the right of me. And here I am, stuck in the middle in high gear. Might be a Grumman something here. Yeah, there's an old warbird. Can't tell what it is from behind. There goes a jet. Let's see if I can track it while I'm still riding. That was a bit challenging. There's Naval Air Station Wildwood. There's also a lot of cop cars here because the township building is right here. So I have to be on my best behavior. Hey, look at this. Team Lower Township. Bicycling police utility tour. There's another plane. It looks like something like maybe a Piper Meridian. It's a turbo, single engine turbo plot. Taxiing, it probably will be taking off shortly. So I need a rest. I will wait around for that. While I'm waiting for that, here is the Cape May County Emergency Management Center. They're just calling themselves that because they have this really cool and very tall tower with radios. I mean, that's what you would do. That's what you would call yourself if you had a radio like that. While we're waiting for the turboprop to take off, here is the ground crew coming to work with this jet. I don't know if they're just servicing it, if they're gonna pull it into the hangar, or maybe prepare it for a flight. And I hear a helicopter in the distance, and there goes our turboprop. And here comes our helicopter. Okay, I know, that's only partially exciting. So I'm gonna get back on my bike. I got some more riding to do. So I'm at this traffic circle, so I'm riding around in circles. There's nobody here. Thoroughly confusing my GPS, which is like, turn here. Oh no, wait, don't here. Oh, lost the course. Oh, found the course. Turn here. Oh, where am I going? I'm lost. Oh, found the course. It's fun. Although I'm getting a little dizzy. I may have to bail out in the last one. Hornet Road, named after an aircraft carrier because, you know, Naval Air Station. All right, let's get out of here. There's another helicopter up there. I'm going to do my final 5 or so miles, maybe a little bonus trip throw in there. Try with my noodle a little further out, see if it's a little more comfortable. If you drive a car, the important thing is you have to respect the noodle. Respect the noodle. That's all I got to say. Well, I made it back to the bridge to get on the island of Cape May. This is a different bridge though. I believe the one I crossed to get out here was way out there. And this is just a noodle. I had to bend my noodle out of the way for a passing bike. So here I am, the biggest climb. These bridges are pretty tall. It's pretty far down there if you want to look. Over there is an even nicer view of Cape May. I dare not get over there because there's no sidewalk. And these drivers prove to be a bit maniacal. Looks like I got one more big downhill and then I can ride through the city, through the town, get back to my place. A side trip. I thought I'd look at a lot of boats that are just sitting there, not being used. I have no idea where I am and what I'm doing, but there's a bunch of boats here. Okay. Let's get back on the trail. And I made it. I'm back on the main drag. The ocean is to my left. The sun is up in the sky. The rest of it's blue. I'm going down Beach Avenue, about 1.5 miles from my place. A little rough, gotta watch out for cars too. Both moving and little stop ones. Potholes are everywhere. Butterflies. But I'm almost home. Rest, a drink, food. We'll get there. According to my GPS, new distance personal record, new 40K personal record. Of course, I only got this a couple months ago. But hey, it's something. Respect the noodle. It worked. It kept me alive. Now I'm going to go visit the Coast Guard station. I think I'm going to go visit the lighthouse. right up the beach on Cape May on the boulevard there. Maybe on the promenade, I guess. And we'll see what else kind of trouble I can get into. Now I'm riding along the promenade heading north, checking out the benches, some of which are decorated rather interestingly for Halloween. Well, I made it to this Coast Guard station, as you can see from the water tower behind me. It says Coast Guard on it, so that's my proof. All right, now let's go head to the bridge where that the lobster house is. That sounds like fun, huh? That would be the bay or probably something like that. Maybe you can see it behind me. Right there is the Coast Guard Tower. So I'm a little away from that by now. I traveled out to a different point along the inland waterways, as I show you. It's a nice place. So it says road closed on my planned route. Usually bikes can get through. We'll have to see. That's for cars, trucks, and big smoky things. Well, at least now I know if my bike breaks down where I can get some spare parts in a hurry. That's what you call a sea of bicycles. That's a lot of bicycles. Okay, before I wrap it up, this is a quick note. I'm heading out on Sunset Boulevard to the lighthouse before I wrap up my trip. And I'm just gonna get into traffic. It's gonna be tricky. It's a rough road and I'm gonna go fast. Well, I made it to the lighthouse. It's right up there. I can give you some information on it. It's tall, it has a light on it. No, seriously, I give you all kinds of stuff about when it was built, who designed it, and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear that, but I made it to the lighthouse. I rode very fast. And now I have to go home. Vertical is the only way I could fit it in, so turn your head sideways, the other way. Okay. The other thing I like to eat on the road is Cliff Bar. They're pretty. It's just crunchy peanut butter. I need calories. Just had French toast for breakfast and a few strips of bacon. I need calories. I need energy to get back. Check this out. Theodore J. Podson, known as TJ, 1918 to 2015. Dude was 97 years old, and he was a Cape May Point lighthouse keeper up until the age of 89. And this is his bench. And that's my bike. And I'm gonna have to get back on it and ride. Okay, well, I had fun. Hope you did. Time for me to go. Oh yes. Respect the noodle.